We're in Walden, Colorado. It's about 10,000 acres, deeded, leased, and owned, all the things. This is kind of our fall pasture. We start bringing them down during the fall. Most of the time, these pastures around here are hay meadows. So we do put up hay. That's the only farming we do. And it's primarily just to feed the cattle during the wintertime. So Herefords, just a breed of cows. And the way you can tell that is that they're a red coat with white faces and curly hair. They're a pretty old breed and maybe not as common anymore, but they do really well up here in Walden. They're just a hardy breed of cattle. They're a quiet breed too. So we can go out and pull cows during calving season most of the time and just walk up to them and help them instead of them being super aggressive like maybe a Charolais would be, which is just a white cow. Growing up on the ranch has made me who I am primarily because of the work ethic it's built in me. I think that's something I pride myself on when I got hired in the fire service. That was something I advocated in myself a lot, was that I'm just a hard worker. Even if I'm not the top tier student or maybe the most skilled, I will always be the hardest worker in the room. And I credit that 100% to growing up on the ranch, because you just don't have an option. You either work hard or you get left behind. This is our round pen. So all of my parents' horses, we've started from babies. And this is where it all starts, is in the round pen. Growing up, my summertime gig, I would always take in 3 or 4 horses to either start for people, or maybe take in an older horse that was just maybe a troubled problem horse and get them out on the ranch, get some miles on them and calm them down a little bit. Which was super cool as a high school kid. That was a super fun job. But I remember specifically, my dad got me a horse to take in for this lady. And if you know anything about Arabians, they're a little bit high strung. They just want to go all the time, and they're a little bit, in my opinion, crazy. And as soon as I saw it was an Arabian, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be terrible. And I fought with that horse for 3 months out on the ranch. She was scared of cows. She wouldn't hold still next to the gates. She wouldn't cross water. She was just a pain in the butt. And I wanted to send her back to her owner immediately. Nope, I can't do your horse. She's too hard, sorry. But that was something, my parents always wouldn't let us quit. And that horse, in the end of our 3 months, ended up being one of my favorite horses that I worked with. Was just hard-headed, but would go for days, would never quit. Eventually we got over all our obstacles, ended up being super cowy, which is not super common for an Arabian horse. But we could go all day. When other horses would get tired, that horse was just ready to keep going. And if I would have sent her back, I would have never had that experience. So I think there's just so much misunderstanding behind where our meat and our dairy and all of the food that we literally provide the entire country, even some to the world. I don't think a lot of people understand how or where it comes from. And being here on the ranch where I grew up, knowing that it's literally the prettiest place, the cleanest place, I always say it's the most pure, knowing that this is where I grew up and we raise cattle. Being able to show people that what we're doing here, providing food for the country, it's done in a really sustainable way, and that the ranchers are producing way more food now using much better practices. And we're doing it so that we can continue to provide for, everyday people. It doesn't just show up in the store. It starts on family-owned places like this. I was really excited to work with Agwell on this particular partnership because I'm very passionate about CrossFit and fitness and health, but I grew up in the ag community, and I am also so passionate about those people and that way of life. And this was the perfect opportunity to bring those two things together and make this package that I feel like is really going to help the people in the ag community both improve their own health and wellness and know that, hey, we're here and we care, and this is something that's really important, and we want to show the rest of the world that yes, we still need these people.